Caroline, this was project number 9, Persuade with Power, right? And so there was 3 core things that you wanted to especially pay attention to with this, and I'll get into the actual goals of the project itself. The 3 things you wanted me to pay attention to were flow, the transition, and then your presence. And so I think in terms of flow, I was trying to observe the structure of your actual speech. You had a good opening, which was to really tell us about the clockwork of life, the mundane activities, the things that we do, and really trying to tell us and convince us why we should consider doing something different. And you gave us 3 core things to do, so 3 call to action items. And then you had a quick conclusion that sort of recapped those 3 things. So the structure was very, very well defined, and then your flow between those things I felt were very smooth. You had a lot of examples, a lot of things for us to consider and to think about as alternatives to our daily practices. And those transitions, again, I thought were smooth. So flow and transitions, I felt like you did a great job. You were very clearly well prepared. I felt that you stood and delivered very, very cleanly, smoothly, with no real falters, no real noticeable pause words or missteps. The other thing you wanted to check was presence. And presence, I'd sort of say, it was decent. I mean, you were confident, you stood out here, you had good eye contact, you had good hand motion. But in terms of something to perhaps improve on is moving around a bit more. And I think in terms of the presence aspect and almost the animation, what you were looking for, I just watched Brad. If you saw Brad just give his Toastmasters tip, he was like falling. He was bombastic at times, loud, and then he was quiet, very calm. And so the dynamic nature of just how he delivered that had a good spectrum, a good variety. And I think you were sort of more here. You were good facial movement and good sort of convincing of what we were looking for. But I think a little bit more of that bombastic nature and that variety of what you're doing. Back to the project itself, persuading with power. The first thing they really want to do is convince us that you're someone that we should take serious and should actually listen to on this, that you're an authority on this in some way. I think you could have opened with an example of perhaps some way that you've learned from doing something different, that convinced you that these are important things for us to do and consider as well, but that you're actually someone who has credibility in this matter. I think you jumped right into, these are the things I'd ask of you, and the call to actions, and gave us good reasons to do so, but you didn't spend enough time establishing yourself as a person of credibility. So with this audience, you've got that credibility. With a brand new audience, they don't know anything about you. So I think, but overall, again, solid delivery, very, very cool and confident, which I thought came off and it was important in terms of convincing us. Just those few other things I think would help make it a little bit more animated and a bit more convincing. But otherwise, solid job.